Wake up, buy here, pay here people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhodes on the Buy Here, Pay Here morning show. Take it away, you two.
Good morning, everybody. We're so happy to have you all here. We're ready for the day, so we decided to use cameras. This might be a thing.
Oh, wait, I forgot.
Yeah, honey, you got your shirt on.
Oh,
you should be good.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, we get to be a little like those TV anchors that come sliding at the last minute with or last second.
It's okay. You don't have to wear pants.
Yeah, right.
It's all as long as you don't get up from where you're sitting as we go forward. So yeah, happy Monday. Mm-hmm. I hope you all had a good weekend. I know a lot of our friends and colleagues were on planes and trains and automobiles. And some of our friends also stuck around in Austin to enjoy Austin and the greater things of Austin. So it's been kind of fun to watch some of the pictures come in and all of that. And goodness gracious, we had such a great experience.
Yeah, the event was outstanding. Hats off to all the folks at NIADA for putting together a really great event, and a lot of work obviously on their end.
A lot of work.
But yeah, it's always fun to reconnect. There's so many people that you don't see often enough. In fact, it's like a whirlwind thing. I mean, we leave there and think, oh man, we never got any time with so-and-so, or we never got back to.
We do. Isn't it funny how most of the time when we leave a conference that we leave with some kind of regret? Yeah. It's like, darn it, we didn't meet with so-and-so. We didn't, touch base. We didn't, whatever.
Never enough time.
There really isn't. And, I would say that one of the things that that we heard an awful lot from dealers is from the conference is there was so much rich information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Tons. I mean, such great, rich information.
Yeah,
good morning,
of course.
Dave.
Oh, Dave Murray's up early in Utah. Hey, Dave.
Good morning from Florida. So those of you guys, I'm going to throw that back up there. Those of you who don't know Dave, he's a very valued member of our team that really helps make things happen. He's our COO.
He's just getting started. We're about to introduce Dave to our.
So I think his thing coming in and saying love the video is his way of nudge. We should do this more. So
I didn't interpret that. And
we'll see.
It just depends on what time we wake up.
See, we got another person. It's like nice. We can actually see you.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Really what it all kind of boils down to is, have we gotten ready for the day? I mean, how late of a start did we get? But I think it's a good thing. It's good to have like goals. I look at people like Brett and Dave that they're doing this 75 hard thing where it's Bill, sorry. And they're doing this 75 hard thing. And it's like, it's all about consistency and it's all about following the stuff that you want to do. So, maybe, and Dave is like strong nudge. Okay.
Strong nudge. Got it.
Fantastic.
It just kind of, for me, it kind of depends on how early I get up in the morning, see how much.
I didn't hear you.
Ready.
Yeah.
So,
No. Yeah. Well, like we said, just waist up.
Yeah.
So we are back in Florida, and we won't be in Florida for very much longer. We're kind of like a little bit bummed about it. That's why I'm wearing my Florida colors.
Oh, is that
that's part of the reason why it's like because the holidays are coming right around. We're ending our lease here in Clearwater, and we'll be traveling again, and not that we don't always, but so for the next few months we'll be on the road with, family. We're going to be in Oklahoma for Thanksgiving and then Salt Lake for the Christmas time. But we will be back to Florida on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of January, which is when FIADA is having their conference. That remember got rescheduled because of that hurricane-y thing.
Yeah. So we'll be in Orlando for that in the middle of the month.
So we'll just kind of figure out from there where and how and what, and it's called flow.
Yeah,
we really do that pretty well. So well, that's what we're going to be doing. So you're going to see us on the road next week, starting for a little bit.
We have a guest.
We have a
standing
guest
by,
that's
so-
just waiting. He's waiting anxiously to join us, and he sent me like a headshot, and I was like, damn, I can't add a headshot from my
your side.
end.
So maybe
So
Tommy can do it
so
as we
we're
talk.
gonna add. We have hello, Tommy.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Very
Good.
good. How are you? I know that yeah, we typically don't have camera. We're not camera ready. So, there's like a
Yeah, I think you guys were spending so much time getting camera ready this morning. You forgot to invite me. And
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, well,
That's
we talked about it.
just the minor details. You guys look great, but your guests just can't be there.
Well, you're there. You're there.
I am here.
Yeah, you're there.
It takes a
So-
while for my makeup, Tommy. I
I
just,
know. Trust me. The black screen for me looks just right.
Is it still dark there?
Oh no, it's beautiful. We're on this. We're on the same coast this time.
yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's nice. Nice. I like the East Coast.
Hey, I know
an
we
awful lot,
invited
so.
you to talk about the Super Forum, but I first got to talk to you about football. I mean, you missed the opportunity, and I missed
Yeah.
it too. Like you told me at the 11th hour that you had tickets to go to that TCU game. The Longhorns were hosting them right there in Austin, a couple of blocks from our hotel, but you didn't make it. That's too bad.
Well, I didn't. It's not necessarily true. I never actually got tickets. I went
Oh, okay.
and walked around the tailgate for about 4 or
Oh.
5 hours, which basically the whole town is a tailgate.
Yeah.
Austin.
And I was not dressed for, when it's 70 degrees in Pennsylvania and it's 41 degrees in Texas. I was not ready to take clothes, and I really wasn't into spending $75 for a Texas Longhorns sweatshirt for one night. So
True.
I follow that.
saved a couple $100 on the ticket and bought some pizza and sat in my room and watched it on the big screen. So
Fantastic. Yeah.
Well,
crazy weather, though.
Crazy-
I mean,
crazy
in
weather, yep.
Pennsylvania, it was 70 degrees, and down in Austin, it was like cold.
Yeah.
It was
40
cold.
degrees.
For our friends in Austin who are Longhorns fan, it was hard for them to come up short. But for those of us who are Big 12 fans, we were happy to see TCU stay unbeaten and have a chance to get. And no, this is a football. This is a football moment. We can have a football moment on the show.
Okay. I'm
So
quiet.
TCU is going to remain unbeaten and still have a chance at the playoffs. So that's what we're kind of interested to see.
With that, and the Eagles go 9-0 tonight.
Yeah, and you got to watch the Dallas Cowboys lose again last night. So
It's just a beautiful Monday morning.
life is good for Tommy. Yeah, that's
and
good.
for
Mhm.
all football people that
Except for Cowboys fans.
except for Cowboys. Yeah, funny.
Mhm.
Getting a lot of stoop. Yeah.
Stop.
Stoop. Stop. Oh, stop.
stop.
Okay. All right. So we do have buy here, pay here stuff to talk about today. And we had the opportunity to see you at the forum, and you were asked to sit on one of the panels. You want to kind of talk about that?
Yeah, I was man. First off, the forum was just knocked out. That was
Right.
awesome. Probably one of the best. I've been to a lot of conventions, seminars, and such, and that was probably one of the best I've been to. Just well put together, right amount of time, right amount of vendors, tons of dealers. Just an awesome event.
Yeah. Heavy on good quality education.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. So yeah, I got to sit on Bill Elizondo's panel on underwriting, and I was I was a little nervous at first, nervous and honored. I got to sit next to Benny on a stick.
Oh, wow.
during the event, and I was like, wow, I was kind of like starstruck there for a little bit. So I couldn't get my bearings on what I wanted to say right away. But we settled in. Benny was there for me, and great, gracious stage mate. So,
Yeah.
I would
He's
feel-
quiet.
Yeah.
But has a presence.
Yeah, I would feel self-conscious. He's so slender, and so I just
oh yeah,
next to him. It's
No, we were talking to Bill Elizondo before the thing, and he just in the course of the conversation, he's like, I should bring Benny to the thing. So he brought Benny to the thing, and afterwards Ben comes up to us. It's like, would you stop? Would you stop encouraging him, please?
right.
I know. Benny on a stick is now famous.
Oh yeah.
It is.
It's a
It's a
thing.
hashtag.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a hashtag. So tell us about the panel that you were on and what you guys talked about.
Just basically talked about underwriting, which everybody talks about. I think I brought a little bit of different spin to it. Everybody's like budgets and stips and fake pay stubs and all that. And I kind of brought the car, the creative relationship to the what I call the interview process. The application process is really an interview process. And it's even more important in today's world because sometimes that's the last time we see that customer
before you hand over the keys, right?
Yeah. So yeah, back in the day, everybody came in every week and made their payment. Now you just go on ACH and we never see you again unless or hear from you again unless there's a problem. So I kind of brought the spin that's really important at this time to sit down and take your time with the customer and create the relationship and become friends. And that's how your payments get made. The numbers on the paycheck or the lease agreement at the end of the day does not tell you how that loan's going to perform. It's going to give you a little warm and fuzzy out of the box. But if you don't have a relationship with your customer, I don't care if you're an 800 credit score. If they have a problem, they're gone.
Yeah, that seems to be the more fascinating part of this whole thing. We're obviously shifting into technology. We got this digital shift coming off of COVID. People are used to doing things more virtually, and we're always looking for efficiency in our business and trying to make things move more quickly. But I think you and I come from the camp of saying, there's some parts that we shouldn't move so quickly through.
Yeah,
exactly, and that's one of them.
Yeah, you mentioned this acronym CAR at the forum, and we were next to the coffee guys, and you had said it to them, and they're like, I want to steal that because it's beautiful. And so the acronym is CAR, and it stands for Create a Relationship.
Yep, correct. And there'd be a lot of people on here. I got that from Russ Lefebvre from Cars and Credit many, many, many years ago at a 20 group meeting, and it stuck with me. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Beautiful. So I made some notes here. Some people that we finally met in person. We met, in addition to the people I listed here, I realized we didn't list Brianna Cox. We met Brianna.
Yeah.
She was on the morning show.
She's delightful and colorful.
Yeah, she's fun. And then Jennifer Finley, the new administrator, VP. I don't know what her role is.
Well, and Jennifer Cox is, she is now the president of Brianna Cox. She's now the president of her own association for repo agents. Mm-hmm. And so very colorful. She put on a presentation at the Super Forum about repos, and because that's like something we see all the time on social media is questions about that. So
I also got to meet in person Benjamin Clifford. I don't think he and I had ever actually spoken in that way. And of course, a lot of these people from social media, right, Tommy? You feel like you're connected to them. You feel like you know a little bit about them, but you don't. And then Bob Higgins from Wayne Reeves. I had never met him. Daryl Payne, I don't think you and I ever even shook hands in the past, so it was great to meet you in person.
Oh, I had a chance to.
Yeah, great and then three people from NIADA, Janet Statterman, Jeremy Beck, and Devin Angenis. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. Somebody can tell me how to pronounce her name. So
really, just great people.
Really wonderful. And again, hats off to all the good folks at NIADA. So they've really done a good job of building a team. And the event was just an example of how they're really paying attention to what dealers are needing at this particular time in their business life. And I thought the agenda was spot on. And I'm not just saying that because we were on the agenda as speakers.
Oh, and that was, I don't know if anyone caught it, that Jim was on there with Amanda. I was like kind of
I'm sure Tommy listened to it on the ride home. We were actually opposite, right?
Unfortunately, you guys were opposite, Bill and Benny and I. So I don't know how many attendees you actually had in person. So sorry about that.
We had a room full, and they were bringing in chairs. You guys
we had a room full too, so that means there was a heck of a lot of people at this convention.
There really were, and that's, I mean, again, hats off. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes.
Yeah. And also, just a quick mention, they did the first leadership symposium, right? So
the start couple of days before.
Yeah, and that was I know that our dealer friend Jared Halstead out in Arizona, was instrumental in bringing that whole thing together. And a lot of people talked about, kind of that drinking out of a fire hose thing. There was a ton of information, short period of time, but helping them, manage their state associations better and
I'm trying to streamline and trying to like here are the things that we should be covering.
yeah, but a lot of great feedback from that. They just said a ton of great information. So
yeah, our executive director and current president were there as well, and they said it was just amazing. Like their heads were going to explode. So
yeah,
good stuff. Good stuff.
Bert Straub is your current president, right?
You got it. Bert Straub and John O'Dorisio is our executive director.
Saw both of them, and by the way, just quick mention that reception on that first night was incredible. We walked through there, just tons of people that that we know, and met some new people.
Great
and
energy,
just fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I got. That's what I got to say. It's interesting. We talk about how everything's going virtual. Obviously, we're doing it right now, and the town hall we put on. So we know the world is moving towards the virtual landscape, but there's nothing like handshakes and hugs at an in-person event. I was walking around, I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of handshakes and hugs going on, and you can't do that across a computer screen. An emoji just doesn't get it done sometimes.
Yeah, that's very true. At least what we're doing here, there's a higher level of connection right through this virtual meeting format.
Correct.
It's different than, like you say, chat through our CRM, with a customer or however that might work. You're absolutely right. It's just, it's hard to develop any kind of real connection and create a relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so we, I know, we broadcast our, the address on Nation TV. And so it was live, and you can find it on any of the regular social channels that we typically broadcast. The recording is sitting there. But like this here is that not everyone has the opportunity to, or the bandwidth or whatever, to be able to attend the conferences. It's, if you can come, if you can't, we're doing our best to be able to bring it to you.
Yeah,
as much as we can.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that we have to balance, Tommy. Everybody's been great about it. We had permission to broadcast in Texas for TIADA, Arizona, and now the Super Forum. And it's tricky because people pay to come to those events, and you want people at the event for all the reasons we just talked about. But we also know that the folks who typically attend the event is a very small percentage of all the folks out there. So, we're striking that balance. We're happy to work with all the state associations, figure out what makes sense in terms of broadcasting, what we're doing. And it seems to work well. This way, the people in the room got high value, and we were able to reach some others as well. So,
yeah, exactly. And we just are putting it out there for all of you with your different conferences, NIADA, and we've already kind of talked to the folks there at the state conferences. If there's something that we might be able to help with to get the message out better or more, feel free to reach out, because we're here to help. Which kind of brings us to something that we've been cooking.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about something, Tommy, that you'll be interested to hear about.
We've been cooking. We spent the weekend, and actually while we were at the forum, a lot of our vendor friends. I mean, and we've got such great friends out there that are vendors, and so it is kind of with vendors as well as with dealers. It's like a reunion, and everyone's all huggy, and how's it going, and what's been new. We had when the last few conferences, especially, we've had a lot of vendors like, hey, we want to be on the morning show. Hey, we want to be able to talk about what it is we're doing. Hey, we want to be able to do this. Hey, we want to be able to get out there, because, it's another way for them to be able to reach people that maybe are looking for a solution. And, we're kind of out there. And so, and
I might throw in a quick mention. Some have offered to sponsor the morning show, and we decided early on, we're not going to have a sponsor on the morning show.
And why?
Well, because this show is for dealers. It's about dealers, and it's about keeping it kind of pure and educational. And that just means we don't want to incorporate any kind of a pitch. We don't want to, so we just are choosing to kind of keep this thing neutral in that way.
And we have had a couple of different vendors on, but it's been something that's educational. It's like, what do you have to offer that doesn't feed only to your company, but good information that's going to help help dealers out there to be better at what they do. And so, we have had a couple, and so we've been cooking. It's like we really want to be able to get the word out about some of the things that are out there that can help dealers. And so so what we are going to do is, and you're going to see this coming together over the next few months. Those of you who have been listening, we're building this thing called the Buy Here, Pay Here Nation. And it's, we're trying to build it right. And those of you who've been watching or listening know that one of the things inside the Buy Here, Pay Here Nation will be a vendor directory, and it's like, and it's not going to be, super pitchy on the vendor directory. It's going to alphabetized, it's like, and based on what it is that they are, if it's capital, if it's GPS, if it's whatever, just there. So what we wanted to be able to do was to be able to add a really rich layer to for dealers to be able to how did you put it? To know the people behind the product.
Right.
Because one of the things that Jim and I in our travels, when we talk to new dealers and we will say, someone will say, what should we get for this? Or what should we do for this? That we give them multiple options, but it's people and products that we know, and that people that we know that are behind the product. And
I typically tell people, we're going to introduce you to 3 that we would consider to be, best in class. And we typically say that, we typically don't refer anyone to a company when we don't know the people behind the company. So that's an important piece. Like, we're trying to make sure, Tommy, that folks know, that folks have a chance to get to know the people. Like, we think that's important. At the end of the day, if there's a problem with the product, then the support that you get is only as good as the people behind the product.
Yeah. So let's get to the point, Michelle. Get to the point. Thanks, Tommy. So we are going to be starting vendor corner interviews, and we'll be putting out a link for our vendor friends to be able to schedule a time to be able to do a recorded interview between Jim and I and whoever it is that you think can speak best to the people behind the product. And we prefer to have it the person behind the product, but if there's others that you think would be able to communicate that better, great. So we're going to be putting out a calendar invite to be able to start those recordings. What we're going to do with those recordings in the meantime, before they are added to the vendor listings in the nation, is that on Fridays, we will be running those vendor interviews immediately following the morning show. So it will be like, it'll go from the morning show, close, and then there'll be the vendor spotlight. That way, dealers that want to listen to the morning show are not going to get pitched during the morning show.
Well, they're not going to really get pitched at all. They're going to hear that, they're going to meet the people. Of course, they're going to get some understanding about what the product is and what it does. But if it's pitch, it's going to end up on the cutting room floor. So basically,
even with these vendor interviews.
So that's why we're recording them outside the morning show. We're going to, make it available to our audience in the morning show, as a kind of a, like, say, vendor spotlight. In fact, there's one of the things we'd like to ask. I'll throw a poll out there. We'd like to get feedback from our viewers and listeners. What's a good name for the vendor
like
spotlight?
Vendor corner, vendor spotlight.
Yeah. We could use some help in figuring out what to call that.
But who's your vendor? Something like that. But it's we were kind of chatting about this is anything that is disparaging about another someone else in the industry will be cut. And so we're not doing these live. We're going to be able to do a little bit of cutting and be able to give people, give the dealers out there a little bit of a insight to who are the people behind the products.
Yeah. And so, for example, Tommy, one of the things I have in mind to do so vendors need to be prepared when they come on the show, that we're going to have a little fun with that and get to know them. Like, one of the segments that I want to do is, can we guess your Facebook password? Like, we're going to go through some scenarios, ask some questions like, who was your 3rd grade crush? So now we can find out a little bit about them and so anyway, it'll be fun. We just want to, we know a lot of those folks. We're happy to help dealers get to know those folks.
Yeah.
And it's like we teach, Tommy, in our work, the some of the stuff that Simon Sinek talks about with that golden circle. You start with your why, and we want to hear
Who
from
you
the
are.
vendors
Yeah.
who you are. What are you about? Like, what's your
Jim
why?
says it all the time when we're talking to clients out there that if a dealer, if your team were to sell you, what would they be selling?
Yeah.
I agree. It's interesting you say that, because even if you have the opportunity to attend something like the Super Forum or another convention that's coming up, there's just not enough time to talk to everybody you want to talk to, because you bump into your old friends and make new friends and get off on a tangent. So this is the perfect way to get, hopefully, every vendor, ultimately every vendor, in front of everybody on social media.
Right.
We're rolling up on, I think, 3,700 followers on Buy Here Pay Here Success. So this is what, kind of what we talked about, where we want to take a no pitch aspect to what we do, but be able to bring all the knowledge and all the resources to all the dealers.
So you're cool with being able to broadcast the vendor corner on Success?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why, unless somebody jumps on and tells me I can't. But at the end of the day, I can do what I want, right?
If it's at the end of the broadcast, the dealers or listeners
can turn it
always
off.
turn it off,
Yeah.
right?
So,
Yeah, and that's something, and that's the toughest part about the Success page, I think, is trying to keep it no pitch, but bring information in. So I'm always kind of like pushing the envelope, so to speak, because it's obviously gotten a lot bigger than 12 guys or 12 people chatting about, a repo, So I'm always kind of looking at it and always, looking for suggestions from the group, if something's gone too far. But so far, no problems, and anything we put on has been kind of fun, and informative. So it's good stuff.
I think we'll have fun.
I think we will have fun. And I want to say, like, for the Success and the boardroom, and it's because we get actively involved in some of the different conversations. Wait, did we get actively involved about apple juice? No, that was on your private one.
That was right. That was me.
I am on an Android phone right now. So
there we go. Sounds like it's working.
Perfectly.
It's all in good fun. It's all in absolute good fun.
We've drawn some battle lines with hashtags out there. So
yeah, we have. So, but I really enjoy, through some of these groups, the Success and the boardroom, getting to know different dealers, just kind of through their comments and their questions, and going back and forth. And so going to the conference too, it was like, as we went through this list of people, it was like, oh, we've, is it okay to kind of like Facebook stalk people on?
No, that's never okay.
But I mean, no, it's not okay. Okay. No. So like, we're paying attention to the things that you're saying. And so it was just kind of fun to be able to, hey, we see you. When we met them face to face, it was pretty nice. It's like, hey, we see you. We're paying attention.
Maybe if you just say follow instead of
stalk.
Yeah, that's okay.
Follow and that rolls off the tongue and onto the ear a little bit better.
Some people can unfollow, but you can't unstalk.
That is true.
So I got to mention, we got a good morning from Auto for You, which I think is going to be our guys in Sarasota, Florida, the Clementowskis. I don't know if that's going to be Boris. Or who got there.
Thanks. So glad you guys are listening.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's it. Yeah. Is that all we got for today?
Wrap up there. We can let Tommy go be a car dealer.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
You are it's always a pleasure, Tommy, and you're welcome anytime.
You can find time. So cool. We appreciate you making time. We'll talk again soon.
Good stuff. Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Okay, thanks. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Look for our Facebook poll.
Look for we're going to be doing a Facebook poll about the name for this vendor corner spotlight thingy. And those of you who are our vendor friends, be watching, because we're going to be posting a calendar link for you to be able to get some time with us let's talk about who you are and all of that.
Let's let our dealer listeners get to know you.
All righty. Well, have a great rest of your week, and we will catch you on Wednesday.